Hello, sweet viewers. Annyeong, that means hi in Korean. I'm Christine with Kimbap TV, empowering you to live a happier and safer life, especially if you're a fellow domestic violence survivor. Well, today I want to introduce you to a new friend we met while I was at work, and she is a perfect example of an empowered woman. And I hope her story can inspire you to think outside of the box, especially during this pandemic.
I think that as women, our biggest struggle is, what are people going to think about me if I fail? I was working for a corporation doing a sales position that I had been doing for many years, and realized really quickly that being great in the role of mom and teacher and coach and all the things that came along with having kids at home and being great at my job wasn't working. For me, what worked is just saying, you know what, this isn't forever. This is my right now, and this is what works for our family and for me. And if it fails, then all we're going to do is learn from it.
Life changed drastically for Natalie and her family when the coronavirus pandemic first hit the U.S.
One of your vocab words is accomplish. Can you tell me something that you've accomplished during COVID?
I have nothing.
Determined to turn this obstacle into an opportunity, Natalie quit her sales job and started a small business that allowed her to put her family first.
I didn't know what they did in school. I drop them off and pick them up 8 hours later and ask them how their day was and get the canned, it was good answer. I really had no idea what they do, what they're involved in, what the teachers go through.
When she's not helping her kids, Natalie stays busy planting signs like this in front yards across the South Bay.
My husband said, keep them in the garage as organized as possible, but just don't take over the garage. And clearly I didn't listen. This is where the guys come and hang out, but now they just get stabbed if they sit.
Though a bit chaotic at times, Natalie says this new job has perks no other jobs can offer.
I did a 100th birthday. I went to set up the sign, and the birthday recipient, her name was Ida, came out of her house, and she immediately got to the end of the driveway and turned around, and her hands went to her face and she was crying. And she said, it makes me kind of choke up to even hear it, but she said, I hope I make it to 101. And I thought, oh my God, I put some cardboard in her yard, and this woman has lived 100 years of her life, and I could bring tears to her eyes by something like this. That 100th birthday really struck me and really made me think, like, golly, this is what life's all about.
She also says it's a priceless experience to build a company during the middle of COVID.
Creating something from nothing really empowered me and made me realize what I was capable of, but set a really good example for my kids to see that they can be part of something and create something from nothing in a time that is the biggest struggle when it comes to our economy and business. But if you have that drive and you have that motivation, you find something that you love, you can be successful in it.
Natalie shares 5 helpful tips for fellow small business owners. Tip 1. Look up what you don't know.
It's amazing what you can learn by just the free stuff we can find online, because that's the biggest struggle, is like, how do I go about doing this? I don't even know how to grow a business. I don't know how to promote myself. Learning that skill goes back to the whole fear thing. Like, what if I don't do it right? It's all about trial and error. It's all about learning as we're going. And the more mistakes I make, the more I realize how to do it better next time.
Tip 2. Connect with others.
Being in a sales position is all about networking and all about building relationships with people. And I joke that I'm like walking LinkedIn, because I'm constantly looking for ways to connect people and ways that different businesses can help each other out. People send me requests and they live in San Diego. I have started a Facebook group with other folks that are in similar business types, so that I'm able to send that lead to the person in San Diego that I know does something similar.
Tip 3. Don't be afraid to stand out.
There are only a certain amount of letters that fit on the cardboard. And a dear friend of mine was helping me kind of with the design process. And she said, well, if we do them smaller, we can fit more on the board, so it'd be more cost effective. And I'm like, oh, no. We need 2 feet high. We need to see them from space. And she's like, okay, but that's twice as much. I'm like, I don't care. This is how we're doing it. So it is a go big or go home situation for sure.
Tip 4, get out of your own way.
I think that as women, a lot of times we're our biggest enemy is our own consciousness and our own inability to overcome that fear. So just putting that to the side and just going for it, the worst thing that can happen is you fail and you're going to learn something from it.
And tip 5, have faith.
Something as simple as like starting this business, it's the whole Jesus take the wheel and it's up to God if this is going to work or not. And I think having that belief system has removed some of that fear because it's more than what I can do. There's something bigger out there, and having that belief really helps a lot to just kind of let go and let God.
Natalie says the pandemic has taught her to be content with a lot less and hopes more families can see the silver lining too.
It's such a life learning lesson for us during COVID because I've learned that what I thought I loved and what I thought I was good at really wasn't bringing me true happiness. And now doing something where I'm able to spend more time with my family, I'm able to bring joy to others and be that parent and be available to the kids and teach them a lesson that if you put your mind to something and you go for it, even when it's a struggle, we can be successful together.
If you enjoyed this video, could you give it a thumbs up and share it with someone you know? And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video.